Hello everyone, this is Dan Gramza and welcome to dangramza.com Market Studies for Monday, August 3rd. And what do we see here in the S&P 500? We're looking at a daily chart in the candle format. So if you haven't seen this before, these videos, the green line means a buy level, the red line means a sell level. If it's a dashed line, it means it's something that happened previously during the week. Now here in the S&P, you can see it traded below that sell level. And if someone hadn't taken profit, this market did pop right back up. So the sell side failed. It's underwater right now. Now the dollar difference here in that market, just to give you that as a reference, is $2,500 a contract. I do look for follow through to the upside. The NASDAQ, on the other hand, not as confident. The dollar difference here, that sell down to that buy level, is $18,940 a contract. The difference here, that sell to that buy level, that's $2,680 a contract. So what are we looking for here? A sideways move. It did close positive, and again, a sell level here failed as the market traded against it. When we look at what's going on with the Dow, it's kind of in the same boat. Traded below its sell level, but it popped up right above it. So we're not seeing that commitment to the downside. The dollar difference here is $920 a contract. And over here on the other side, that dollar difference is $2,920 a contract. So do we look for follow through in this market? Yes, I do. And when it comes to the Russell, the small to mid cap stocks, let's look at what's going on with that market. And what we see here is the dollar difference, I should say right here, between this buy and sell level is $100 a contract. And what do we look for here? An inside day. Now it traded below its sell level and it stayed weak. But this is still a neutral structure and we're looking for that sideways move. In the euro, it means that the US dollar got weaker towards the close. And so is that going to be consistent? Will the US dollar continue to get weaker and the euro continue to get stronger? That would be the expectation. Dollar difference buy to sell level in that market, to give you that reference, is $1,225 a contract. In the Swissy, the dollar difference here is $1,537.50. Again, this is that false sense of security. Look for a sideways move in that market. Mr. Yen, we had central bank intervention. That's what that structure implies. And on Friday, this is right on target. We are looking for an inside type day, not a strong move to the upside. It's the right kind of rhythm. Look for an inside day in that market when it comes to Monday's action. Well, the Aussie dollar wants to go higher, but be careful here. Again, the sell side, this market did rally. The dollar difference buy to sell level in that market, just to give you that reference, is $400 a contract. Can we get follow through? False sense of security. Be careful here on the long side. You see it also in the British pound. Yes, the British pound got stronger, but be careful here because that is not necessarily a super strong type move. Dollar difference buy to sell level is $612.50. And again, notice that the sell side here, that failed as the market rallied going into the close. That would have been underwater. We see that with the Canadian dollar as well, that kind of movement. So on the close, the sell side failed. In the dollar difference buy to sell level, that's $340 a contract. Bitcoin, this is a market that is still struggling. It wants to go higher, but we're not seeing the support to make that happen. Look for an inside day in this market. It's a fascinating market in terms of structure, but we're not seeing consistency of behavior. That sell to buy level is $575 a contract. When we look at the 10-year notes, what do we see here is we see the yield got stronger. That makes sense. There's a lot of uncertainty out there in this marketplace. The difference here is $605 a contract. Let's move over to bonds. What do we see here? The yield in the bond market also got stronger as price broke to the downside. The dollar difference here is $843.75. The dollar difference up here, $593.75. I look for that yield to increase and for prices to come down. In the gold market, dollar difference at sell to buy level that you see there is $1,250 a contract. This buy to sell level, $1,225 a contract. I'm looking for a down move. Watch that movement in the yield on the 10-year notes. In silver, we're seeing a sideways move. It did get weaker. I don't look for a big break to the downside in that market. A dollar difference here, buy to sell level, $6,000 a contract. Copper traded below its sell level and basically closed there. This is supposed to represent demand and supply, and again, we're not seeing consistent behavior here. $1,500 is the dollar difference between this buy to that sell level. In crude oil, a lot of uncertainty in the Middle East on what's going to happen. Anything can happen over the weekend. I don't have a lot of confidence in this market. Dollar difference buy to sell level, or in this case, sell down to that buy level, is, give you the right number here, is $5,800 a contract. Sideways move is what I'm looking for. And in nat gas, difference buy to sell level, $1,800 a contract. Look for a sideways move to lower. We have a lot of natural gas globally available, especially here in the United States. Soybeans fundamentals are looking good, and that means we're seeing some downward pressure here in soybeans. China is supposed to be here buying our soybeans, but so far that hasn't changed the attitude that we're seeing in this market. And the dollar difference, this buy to that sell level, is $1,800 a contract. Corn is a market that's also looking good fundamentally in terms of subsoil moisture in the middle Midwest, which is where I am. So we're seeing the possibility of further downward pressure in that market. Wheat, I'm surprised to see this selling off. Watch what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. There is some doubt about that supply coming online. $1,300 is the difference between that sell and that buy level. Those are my thoughts for today. Thank you for joining me. Look forward to being with you again. And as always, take care.